know that the suspects who came to shoot me are known to him and they know each other. General asked me if I have opened the case, and I said no. He offered that he will send the vehicle to pick me up and take to his cluster office. I informed the general that I will make means to get to his office on my own. The reason I said that is because I was wary of the involvement in the incident that took place. I then phoned Gwabini Sfiso Zungu. Gwabini, who I know is a relative to all these suspects, including Muzi Sibia. I informed Gwabini of the incident which has just taken place to alert him, as I suspected that they wanted to kill me because I was busy sharing the information with the police about the suspects who are involved in the Senzo Meiwa, in the murder of Meiwa, and wanted Gwabini to watch his back as he also had information and knowledge about the case. Paragraph 19. We arranged to meet with Gwabini on the very same day at Jamestown so that we could discuss the matter in person. We met in Jamestown as arranged. Gwabini then called Nkazamulo in my presence and inquired why they were attempting to shoot me. Nkazamulo denied that he had attempted to shoot me, but I maintained my position that I know him very well and I know what I saw him doing. We called Muzi and informed him that his relatives are trying to kill me for the case of Senzo Meiwa, where he is suspected to have been involved. Prior to this call, Gwabini informed me that the right person to call was Muzi because he was very stressed and panicking that I'm giving out information about the involvement in the killing of Senzo Meiwa. Muzi acknowledged that he is aware that his relatives wanted to kill me because they also believed that I was selling them out to the police for their involvement in the murder of Senzo Meiwa. He further said that he will not speak to them and he further said that he will speak to them and tell them to stop what they were trying to do to me immediately, but insisted that I should meet with him and discuss this matter and avoid future incidents of this nature. Muzi also said Gwabini must give me his current cell numbers as we called him, using Gwabini's cell number, and placed him on a speaker. Gwabini gave me Muzi's current cell number at that time. Later the same day, I phoned Muzi and he confirmed that he did speak to his relatives that they will stop trying to kill me. And he further insisted that we should meet, but we never met until he was arrested for the killing of Senzo Meiwa. I was also told by Gwabini that Muzi's father is grateful that I'm willing to meet his son and resolve the Senzo Meiwa case instead of getting his son arrested. Paragraph 20. I thereafter proceeded to General Lishabani's office where I met him and reiterated the incident of that morning. The general asked if I have informed Brigadier Gininda, and I said yes. He then said he will speak to the uncle of the suspect in order to stop this attempt. The general further told me that we should stop engaging and discuss about the Senzo Meiwa case and that we should leave it to the national head office. I can recall that Gwabini's cell number is Warawara. I'm not going to read it. Paragraph 21. I can also confirm that Carlos Mngube had dreadlocks and gold tooth insection on the upper part of his teeth. On the day of the killing of Senzo Meiwa, he is also appearing on A94 in the following photo numbers from 10 to 17. On page 17, he appears with Nkani Sifiso Kutlentuli. He also appears on photo 22 to 24 and 31, 34 to 35, 46 to 48 in the police docket marked FFPLUS CAS 63610 of 24. Section A, Volume 4, Mtokozi Cinema Pisa also appear in photos 7, 170, 17, 23. I can also confirm that the sketch that I saw back in 2014 of Bongani Ntanzi is the same as I saw in FFPLUS CAS 6361024, Section A, Volume 3, A154, page 2, and in brackets 8 of 8, and paragraph 22. I know and understand the contents of the statement. I have no objection to taking this prescribed oath. I know the prescribed I consider the prescribed oath to be binding on my oath, and it is duly certified and signed by the Commission of Oathsmen. My Lord, I'm being told that it's 1 o'clock, my Lord.
6. When are we returning? 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. Okay, then I say 2.
Because he had arrested him in previous matters in KwaZulu-Natal, correct?
Ngaphambi kokuthi ngifundele istatement lesi ushilo-ke ukuthi isizathu sokuthi uMakhubo asichitheke noma achithe leyo information owakubanikeza yona-ke ukuthi yena-ke wathi ukuthi u-accused number 5 wambopha-ke embophela amanye amacala e-KZN.
Yebo.
Yes.
Then when I asked you whether he rejected that information that you gave to him, also for the 4 other accused to say that they are not involved, you said no, he was only speaking about accused number 5. But in the statement, it clearly says that Nkani, as well as all the suspects that I had given information to about, correct?
Kodwa-ke wena-ke umchaza uthe uMakhubo wathi ukhuluma nje kuphela yena ngaye unkani uyena awambopha, kodwa la kwistatement-ke kuyasho-ke ngokucacayo ukuthi-ke nangabanye abasolwa.
The question was only in respect of accused 5, not to the rest of the accused.
Thank you, my Lord. But also now, from the statement as I've read, you see, he also said, and the rest of the accused persons as well were not involved.
Kodwa-ke kwistatement engiqeda usifunda-ke nala kwistatement kuyasho ukuthi bengasiyena nje kuphela uMakhubo athi unumber 5 ongekho involved, kodwa nabanye ngokwalokho okubhalela kwistatement.
Mhlawumbe ushukuthini ukuthi uMakhubo usingabe ngoba ebesitholile akasithola ngale statement anisinikeza.
No, not a statement, the information that you gave to him.
Can you just refer us to that paragraph?
It will be, let me read at paragraph 13. Let me count the lines from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to read from paragraph 11, line 11 from the bottom, where he says, and I quote, "He disputed everything I shared with them and said that I must reveal my source. Warrant Officer Makhubo showed us a picture of Nkani and said he arrested Nkani on the other matters in KwaZulu-Natal and that Nkani is not involved in the matter of Senzo Meyiwa, as well as the suspects I have mentioned."
Indana-ke la isho khona-ke ukuthi wakuphikisa konke lokho engangikusho, wathi-ke angichaze ukuthi ngikuthola kuphi-ke yibani isosi yami. Warrant Officer Makhubo wase engibonisa-ke isithombe sakhe unkani, wathi wambopha embophela amanye amacala KwaZulu-Natal, nokuthi-ke unkani akambandakanyeki ekubulaweni kwakhe uSenzo Meyiwa kanye nabanye abasolwa engibashilo.
Do you see that?
Uyakubona lokho?
ngibona kahle.
I see it clearly.
Do you want to comment on that?
Khona ke ungakusho khona.
Ngicabanga ukuthi wayikhomenta ngonkani ukuthi uyena mbopha, uyena ithombe zakhe angivezela zona, umthetho wambopha. Kodwa ngokwazi kwami wangitshela ukuthi umbophe ngo-2015.
I think he was here commenting about Nkani. It's Nkani's pictures that he showed me. That is the one that he arrested. But he was talking about 2015 or referring to 2015.
Now, I don't want to dwell on this because it speaks for itself. If you may be referred to Exhibit S, you remember the pictures that you were shown yesterday, where you were identifying certain persons accused, whatever, may be shown to you again. If we can start with photo, is it page 47? Because it's not photo 47. Yes. If you recall yesterday, there's a person not in the front of the picture, but the one with the colors look blue and he's bending so the face is not visible. Yesterday you identified this person as accused number 2, correct?
Ngithema ngemchaza. Angishongo ukuthi uye ngoba ngisho ngathi akabondakali kahle. Kodwa umuntu bengimchaze kahle u-accused number 3.
I didn't say that it is him because I did say that you can't see him clearly. The person that I mentioned I said is accused number 3. Yebo.
Kungenzeka ukuthi kwakungabe lo ungibonisa yena wena ngokwazi kwakho ukuthi kungabe ku-accused number 2 noma u-accused number 3. Kodwa ngokwami angimbonanga kahle ukuthi u-accused number 1.
If you say that the person is accused number 2, but if you are based on your knowledge, but I say that I couldn't see clearly as to who that person was.
So we are not talking about my knowledge. I know nothing about this picture and the persons that are there. I'm going on your testimony yesterday, and if you are mistaken, as a human, you say, I was mistaken. I didn't say it's accused number 2. I'll accept that, but don't push it to me.
I'm not lost. Mina ngokuphathelana nalezi ithombe lezi kodwa ngikhuluma into oyishilo wena izolo ungase uyiphushela kumina ke uma kuukuthi wenze iphutha izolo uma uthi lo wami ugqoke iphisi number 2 ungasho ukuthi wenze iphutha.
Ngasho ukuthi ngenze iphutha uma ukuthi number 2 abonakali kahle kimi.
I would say that I made a mistake if it said it's accused number 2. It's not clear to me.
My Lord,
Yes,
those are my questions for the witness. I've got no further questions.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson.
So sorry, my Lord. Yes. Sorry, my Lord, just one clarification or 2 clarification questions. In respect of the same picture, and with your acknowledgement that this is, you said the car is an Uno car, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So, and you know who, let me not even go there, I don't want to put people. But did you, in your evidence in chief, to say amongst the people that were in that car was also accused number 2?
Ingabushiwa yini ukuthi kwabanye babantu ababephakathi kuleya moto no accused number 2 wayekhona?
Njengoba ngisho ukuthi abantu abakuleya moto sasibaningi sasiba u5. Yimo is 5. Angibhekanga ukuthi u-accused number 2 uye okhona or akekho. Njengoba ngisho ukuthi nalapha akabonakala ukuthi ngathi uye.
As I said, that there were many people in that vehicle, and then 5 in total. I was the 5th one, and I think didn't check or see whether accused number 2 was there, and even here I am saying that it is him.
Now, with respect to this picture, just for clarity's sake, with your concession that you made a mistake, accused number 2 says that is not him, and we should collate this information with photo 9. So I'll ask for page 9 of photo 9 to be shown.
Accused number 2 would have seen
And before I go there, just look at the clothing worn by that person in page 47. Yeah. You just memorialize the clothing one there, and then as we go to photo 9, you'll see a similar gentleman wearing this thing, and tell me who that gentleman is.
Page 9 usho ukuthi ubani wena.
Yeah, you see that gentleman, and although the picture is blurry, would you accept that the clothing in this blurry picture resembles the clothing in photo 47 of page 47?
Yeah, that would taxi accused number 2.
Clear that it's not accused number 2.
As the court places, my lord. Thank you.
Okay. Right. Mr. Police.
Yes, it is the court, my lord. My lord, I'm a bit cagey and very uncomfortable to start with my cross-examination on account of the fact that we requested the original version of the statement that was penned by this witness, and the state informed us that there's no original version of the statement. What the state has is only what has been handed to us. Now, through this testimony of this witness, it transpires that indeed there's a statement that was handwritten from which this was typed. So I'm going to request that we be finished with that version before I commence with my cross-examination against this witness. Because all along we are under the impression that this is the original version, but as I attentively listen to the testimony of this witness, it changes the complex or the complexion of the answer that we got from my colleague. That's my application.
As a court, please, my lord, during the long adjournment, I confirmed with the investigating team that only notes were made of the version of the witness, and the statement was typed from those notes. So my understanding is that there isn't a handwritten statement. Those were notes that were used to prepare the current statement.
Wait. But this witness was shown the very statement we are talking about.
Yes, the
notes were prepared,
yes,
right, by the police.
Yes, no, by the witness.
By the witness, right?
Yes,
and
yes.
then the police incorporated
Yes.
the notes into a statement.
Yes.
And then this witness signed that statement.
Yes, the current statement that is before court.
Can I see your signature there? Because this witness, I thought he identified that this is my signature.
Ummeli wakho-ke accused number 3 uyacela ukuthi ngaphambilini kokuthi aqale nokufakazi ukuze imibuzo ukuthi ufakazi ushiwa ngaphambilini ukuthi wasibhala-ke yena istatement ngesandla sabe sesiyathayichwa-ke so uthi ucela leso statement esabhalwa uyena-ke kodwa-ke umbuso uthi-ke cha ukhulumile-ke nabaphenyi bathi cha ama-notes kuphela la awayenza kulawo ma-next-ke basebenza leso statement abasithayi.
Who is Bongani Nicholas Gininda?
It's Brigadier Kininda, it's the head of the investigating officer in the state.
Uthi lo brigadier Gininda uyena-ke ompenyi-ke yecala oyinhloko.
And who commissioned this statement? Commissioner of Oath?
Ubani commission?
Uye?
It's him.
Let's look at page 23, where it ends. Where's your signature there?
Usayinde kuphi la?
I think it's page 23.
Did you sign page 23?
Uyena lo page 23.
No, is the Colonel Kininda, Brigadier Kininda.
So you signed
Colonel
your,
Gininda.
number 5, you signed paragraph 24, 22.
22.
That's what.
Usayinde kuphi? The witness pointing right at the bottom.
Right, just read paragraph 22.
I know and understand the content of the statement. I have no objections to taking of the prescribed oath. I consider the prescribed oath to be binding in my conscience.
And you knew that this is a statement under oath.
Wawazi ukuthi istatement besesifungelwe.
Ngachazisa ukuthi uma ngithatha istatement ngineka ngibhalile kwangama-note
Yeah.
engingahlanganisile.
That's it, yes.
So uma ethatha ngabe senginothisa nokuthi amanye amagama awangenanga like la kumele kube khona ugadla bekubani bekuba ugadla.
Okay,
Kodwa
but-
lokho ngabe sengimtshela ukuthi amagama khona manje kule statement awangenanga the way kwamele angene ngakhona.
Okay. What happened, my lord, is that I made notes, and then this statement was then reduced or was then typed. But I then noticed that some of the names were not inserted or added here, where it was supposed to be, for example, Gaza and Nkani would then. I then informed him that certain names are do not form part of this typed
Right?
statement.
And what did the general do after that, or the brigadier?
Wase uma usomtshelileke wenzani yena ngalokho?
Ngeke ngazi ukuthi wenzeni kodwa mangisithatha ngisithatha ngoba bekungama question ngini
Yeah.
bengiquestiona okunye ngabonela ukuthi amagama awafani
Okay.
amanye agejini
I wouldn't know, my
kodwa
lord.
ngase ngisayilile.
I wouldn't know, my lord, as to what it is that he did, but I then noticed that certain names were then missed or were not, didn't form part of this statement.
Kodwa angithandanga ukusichange ngoba bengingafuni ukwazi ukuthi ngizosichange. Actually ingakho bengabanikeza statement. Ngangafuni ukunikeza umuntu esami statement until ngifisa ukunikeza icourt marketing.
But I didn't wish to change it, my lord, which is then why I didn't want to give anyone my statement. I wanted to give my statement to the court.
Yeah. You heard Mr. Kamsipi reading the statement.
Yebo.
Umzwili umesifundo, Mr. Ramsipili. Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord.
Right? Did you read it before you signed it, before
Yes,
Brigadier
I-
Ginanda?
Yes, I read it.
Yes.
Yebo ngasifunda.
So what is contained there, it's what you told Ginanda, the Brigadier
Gininda.
sorry.
Lokho bhaliwe la ilokho.
You say he was with another gentleman. What's the other gentleman?
The other lady.
It says a lady, my lord.
Yeah, the lady.
Yes.
But what is contained in this is the information you gave to the Brigadier.
Yes. But when they type it,
Yeah.
I realize that the other words like Yamibongo, Yamasenim, Abelani,
Like the surnames do not correspond with that which I said, but I had already signed. So, but I had already signed, I didn't want to change it. But I realized that the surnames and the names do not correspond.
Are the names mentioned there, some of them you mentioned, but they are missing from the statement?
Kunamagama washilo kodwa angekho la.
amanye wakhona kodwa awangenanga ngalendlela. For an example, mawabheka paragraph 5,
Yeah.
ithe kungeneyo accused number 1, accused number 2, and accused number 5. Yeah, understand ukuthi mhlambe mawukhuluma amagama amaningi ingakho befaka accused number 5 instead of accused number 3.
Like in paragraph 5, my lord, say it's mentioned accused number 1, number 2, and number 5. But just accused number 1, number 2, and number 3. I don't understand maybe in the mentioning of the names. That's what I mean.
Okay, so the omission is on paragraph 5, you say?
Paragraph 5. You would like to confirm, my lord?
Yeah, okay. Just read paragraph 5 for us. We'll see what you say there. You understand English? Read it in English.
Okay. Around 9 p.m. on a very same day, I noticed Muzi, Sbia, Mafiga, of which is Sandy Sontanzi, and Kanis Fisogohle Zungu Toli.
Now, which name is left out there?
It's left there. It's not supposed to be Fisogohle Toli.
So it's supposed to be Muzi and who?
Muzi, Mafiga,
Mafiga, right?
and Gaza.
And Gaza. And Gaza.
Yes.
Right? Only.
Not only that.
No,
I
no,
think
wait,
that
wait,
thing
wait.
is repeated.
You still take it slow.
Okay.
So the names which are in the statement is Mafiga, Muzi, Mafiga, and Gaza.
Yes.
Those names are in the statement.
Yes. That's my statement. But here it's Nkani. It's accused
It's who?
number 5. It's accused number 5.
No. Let's. Who is Gaza? It's accused number.
Yes, it's Carlos
No, wait. Muzi is accused number who?
1,
1, right? Mafiga is accused number who?
2,
2. Gaza is accused number who?
3.
3. Accused 3.
Yes.
And then if you want to mention another accused in paragraph 5.
No, angifuna ukumention omnye accused in my justice.
Yeah.
Into bengifuna ukuyisho ukuthi ufake igama lomunye bomunye.
I don't want to add another one, my lord. It's just that a certain name here, according to the statement, has been written, which was not supposed to be instead of the other name.
Which is that name?
Iliphi lelo lifanele?
Accused number 3.
So
Sorry, Pinda?
It's
wait. Don't
let me read it again, my justice.
You said the name which was not supposed to be there is
Iliphi
Gaza.
ebekungafanele ukuthi libe la?
Nkani Fisokuhle Ntuli.
Ngani sifisokuhle Ntuli, my lord? It's not supposed to be here.
Wait, I'm still talking about Gaza.
Yes.
Gaza, you say is accused number 3.
Yes.
You say his name is not supposed to be there.
It's supposed to be here.
It's supposed to be there.
Yes.
So accused number 1, 2, and 3, they are correctly put in that paragraph 5.
No. It's put accused number 1 and 2 and number 5.
Okay, so what is the name of number 5?
It's Nkani Fisokuhle Ntuli.
Nkani.
Yes.
Yeah, by extension of logic. So it means Gaza's name shouldn't be there.
No. Should be there.
It should be there.
Yes. But Nkani was not supposed to be there.
Is Nkani there?
Yes.
Nkani is accused number what?
5.
Number 5.
Yes.
What are his full names?
Fisokuhle Ntuli.
Siso.
Sibethene ngani sifisokuhle Zungu Ntuli, my lord?
Zoom into.
Yes.
He's supposed to be there.
No.
It's not supposed to be
It's not
there.
supposed to be
Let's
there.
read paragraph 5. Let's see whether that name is there or not.
Around 9 p.m. at the very same day, I noticed Muzi, Mafiga, Moses Bia, Mafiga, in bracket Sandy Sontanzi, and Kani, Fisokuhle Zungu Ntuli walking
Wait.
around.
And who's not supposed to be there?
It's Nkani
So
Fisokuhle.
the name of Nkani Sibisoboshe is not supposed to be there.
Yes.
Ilokho kakusho ukuthi lana kubhalwe ukuthi ngo9 ngalelo langa lelo ngabona ke umuzi Sibiya umafika Sandy Sontanzi kanye nonkani sifisokuhle Zungu Ntuli behamba belandelelana uthi ke leli elikankani sifisokuhle Zungu Ntuli akufanele ukuthi yilona elila igama ekufanele ukuthi lila lihamba nalawa amabili umuzi Sibiya umafika Sandy Sontanzi igama lika Gadla umncube kungafanele ukuthi kubhalwe usifisokuhle Zungu Ntuli.
Okay, fine. Any other mistake you saw there?
Khona kunye okubonile
Ngicabanga ukuthi ku mangibhekile yiwo lamagama.
I think when I'm looking, it is the names, my lord.
Right. And what else?
my lord. No, I won't nothing going to see the
That's the only.
Nothing else that I can say I noticed, my lord. Except for the names.
Yeah, but you just gave me 2 names. Those are the names you're worried about. That's Ngani, Sibusiso, Buche, Ntuli shouldn't be there in paragraph 5.
Uthi lana kufanele unkani sifiso kuhle Zungu Ntuli akufanele ukuthi ubhaliwe la. Yes, my lord.
Carlos Ntobisi Ncube.
Carlos Ntobisi Ncube was supposed to have been written there.
So it was supposed to be Carlos
Ntobisi.
Yeah. Ntobisi Ncube. Yeah, that's all.
That's what I've noticed, my lord.
And ihamba iphindela now and then.
No, and it's the same mistake gets repeated as you go on with it.
The same mistake. On paragraph what portion?
Uqaphele nabo ngiyabona manje sikhuluma ngo5 yiphi enye paragraph njengokuthi iyaphinda le mistake uyibona nakuphi futhi.
Ngathi nginothi kakhulu paragraph 5.
I would say I noticed it most at paragraph 5 now.
Yeah, but the point is, the name of Nkani is Sibusiso Boshe Ntuli. It's not supposed to be there.
So kodwa ke kuko konke lokho kusho ukuthi leli kankani sifiso kuhle Zungu Ntuli akumele ukuthi lilapha yana. Yes, my lord. It's supposed to be somewhere else, not there in that part.
Where should it be?
Fanele ukuthi likuphi? Mawuthi fanele ukuthi likwenye indawo kuphi?
Fanele ngabe etapha statement sami ukuthi mabengena endlini abangena endlini kwaba abangena qala kwaku accused number 1, number 2, number 3. Accused number 4 and number 5 bangene late besingisendlini accused number 1 and accused number 2 and accused number 3.
Asibambe lapho. That's my lord. Accused number 1, number 2, number 3 were the first ones to enter the house, and that accused number 4 and number 5 entered later when I was already inside together with accused number 1, 2 and 3.
Right? Is that it?
You know?
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's what my lord.
This statement was it typed in your presence?
Uma besithayipha basithayipha ukhona.
I will say my judgment as typer. I was speaking verbal.
As you were speaking?
Yes. And then ngibuka ama notes ngirefera ngama notes.
And looking at the notes, referring to the notes.
So amagama ngiyabona ukuthi mhlawumbe babephambanisa amagama mangakhuluma njengokuthi ngithe umuzi ungafika bathatha lelo gama belifaka ngathi
I would say, my lord, that they would then be confusing or switching the names as I would be speaking. They would maybe say, I would say Mafika, Muzi, and they would be switching or confusing the names. That is the only thing that I noticed.
Yeah. Yes, Mr. Misi, what's your view now?
Please, the court, my lord. This explanation really is a bit bizarre and very preposterous. I think the only thing that is going to give guidance to the court, my lord, is that this witness in the state must just provide to the defense with the notes from which what is written in the statements were prepared. Because as I listen to this witness, my lord...
No, but he's saying they prepared the notes. Were the notes prepared under oath, sir?
No. I forget my notes.
No, my
no.
That's the point, I understand. He's talking to these gentlemen, Ginanda. And then Ginanda is reading from your notes. You wrote the notes. Hello?
Yes.
Yes, my lord.
You wrote the notes.
Yes.
So Ginanda, just take it slow. And then Ginanda in turn interviews you and reads your notes.
As an interviewer, Ginanda, I will find my notes up. At times you wouldn't read them because, my lord, they were not there. It was just information.
Which you were providing.
That's correct.
But this statement, after it was typed with those mistakes, was it read back to you?
Statement lesike emuva kokuthi sesitayitshiweke ekhona lawo ma mistake ingaba safundwa yini sifundelwa emuva kokuthi sesiqediwe nje ekhona ama mistake enjalo bakufundela yini?
Yes, ngasifunda ma justice.
Yes, I read it, my lord.
Esinye ngabe sengicela ikhophi ngoba isikhathi sasingekho enough ukuthi mhlambe ngabe sengibona ama mistake kodwa ngifomele advocate ngalawo ma mistake
I requested a copy because there was not much time. I had seen the mistakes and also informed the advocate, my lord, about it.
Where are the notes? Your notes?
amanye akhona ngama piece njengama date.
Do you have your notes where?
Now,
At home.
okay.
Awaphelele
They are not complete.
because bengawasave onke bengibhala mhlawumbe ngalelo langa ngidibanisa khona ngalowo muntu ngenza amanothi alelo langa.
On a particular day, meeting a particular person, I would make notes on that day, my lord, so they are not complete.
So ngikhumbula mhlawumbe ukuthi ngalelo langa ngidibane nobani kwenzakala ini nganginalapho ukuthi ngizobe ngibhalile ukuthi yini esiyikhulumile naye.
I would maybe, my lord, on a specific day, meet a particular person. I would then write what is it that happened, but I would not write in detail as to what it is that I would have spoken with that person.
But what is important for this court, those notes were compiled by you from your own knowledge.
Hello?
You didn't have to talk to Rasam Kwatle and say, Kumbula, everything is Kumala in your head.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
That information on the notes, as we were writing them, nobody assisted you with the truth.
Yes. The truth ukuthi angimnikezanga umuntu justice statement for so long. So ingakho mhlawumbe kube khona mase bethatha statement kuba khona lo ma gama phamba nayo.
The truth, my lord, that I didn't give a statement to someone for so long. Now that's maybe why those names were then confused.
Ngoba according to investigation my justice gave me bebe njengokuthi umuzi kakhulelwa sibe yangizokwenza accuse number 1. Kimi thatha isikhathi ngikhumbula ukuthi umuzi kayikhulelwa ubani kodwa bengithi umuzi. So ngicabanga ukuthi kube ile mistake yabo mabe time.
The other thing, my lord, is, let's say I speak about accused number 1. To me, it was always Muzi. So it would then take time for me to then comprehend, sorry, as to who Muzi Kayikulelwa is.
Mr. Madoi, what's your view?
As a court, please, my lord, I'm of the firm view that the statement is before court, that cross-examination should occur on the statement as it is. I think there will be no purpose in presenting notes that were used to prepare the statement.
Yeah, okay. Mr. Nisi, please. I rule that the statement is admissible in the sense that the author of the statement is before us.
Yes, madam.
And the author of the statement says he wasn't assisted to make that statement.
Yes, madam.
He made the notes and they were incorporated into this statement. Right?
Yes, madam.
Of course, he says there were 2 or 3 or 5 mistakes regarding the names,
Yes.
not the contents of the statement itself.
Yes, madam.
Okay, so you can continue.
I'm going to demonstrate, madam,
Okay,
very briefly,
okay.
that what this witness has just tried to explain in his quest to try and justify this contradiction in the statement. He's just being economical with the truth and very disingenuous with the court, madam. In the very same paragraph, this is what I'm going to say, madam. Because in the very same paragraph, he said, I saw Muzi giving Gwabeni a point.
3-8.
Yes, a 38 special firearm and Kani
Yes.
giving Gwabeni a 9mm firearm. It still doesn't say accused number 3 was involved. And further on down the line, he's saying Togoziseni Mapisa and Carlos Mtobisincube walk into the room and sat on the bedroom. Were those still mistakes that he could not identify when he was reading the statement after it has been typed? And now the question is, if he saw those mistakes, why did he not go back to the typer and say, or the person that was taking the notes and say, no, here you've made a mistake? And the statement has been read to him on behalf of accused number, I'm sorry, madam, on behalf of accused number 1 and 2, as is here. It does not even say, no, I note that there's a mistake with regard to the naming of the people in that statement. I want that to be corrected, madam.
Elinye ke iphutha akhombayo ke ummeli lana yilana ithi khona ke ngase ngibona umuzi enikeza uGwabeni i.38 special unkani enikeza uGwabeni i9mm 9mm bese uhlake uthi ngase ngibona ke umthokoziseni maphisa kanye noKhaklosi Mthobisi Mncube base bengena ke ekameleni bayohlala embhedeni manje ukuthi meqhubeka ke umele ukuthi ufuna ukuthi nala amaphutha awuzange wabone ukuthi ke lo muntu owayetype istatement umtshela ukuthi akusilona nje kuphela lapha yana kodwa nalana futhi wenze elinye iphutha.
My justice, ingakho ngithi amagama uma bewafaka bebefaka amagama ukuthi ligama kumele lingene la kodwa lingene komunye njengalo elishoyo athi u-accused number 4 and number 5 la uthi accused number 4 ungene no-accused number 3 kodwa mina ngithi accused number 4 ungene no-accused number 5.
My Lord, which is then what I said when I said that the names were not placed correctly. Where a name was supposed to be placed or written, a different name would be written. According to this, it says accused number 4 and number 3 came in, but I am saying that it was accused number 4 and accused number 5.
Mr. Nisi,
Which is the reason why, my lord.
yeah, I hear you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Mr. Baloyi, the notes, can we get the notes or it's just a few time exercise?
No, we haven't seen the notes, but I don't see how the notes will be of any assistance. The witness is providing an explanation for the errors. Things for counsel to take up those issues with the witness. I don't see how the notes can be of any assistance.
Just for my further understanding, you say this statement, you signed it where?
When? Wait. What side the law the statement says? Centurion, my Lord.
In the police station.
The police station.
It's a police headquarters.
Police headquarters.
The statement was typed on the same day and you signed it on the same day.
Sataycho ngalelo langa was signed ngalelo langa.
Lesikhathi ngikhuluma shukile betype.
As I was speaking, they were typing.
Then ngoba bengiphethe ama-note afana nalawo, maybe I will refer date to this date, then ngizobe ngikhuluma ngaleyo date.
Because I had the notes, my Lord, with me, I would then be referring to that specific date.
And when they got it back to you?
They give it back to me on the same day. I read it.
And then what about the confusion of the name? Didn't you tell them that the names are being confused?
No, when I read it at home, that's why I came back and said those names were placed incorrectly. Only the names that were placed incorrectly.
Only the names.
Base ngifundela ke ekhaya ila ngabona khona ukuthi amagama awabekiwe kwindawo ekuyizona. Mase ngifundele ekhaya amagama kuphela.
Mr. Baloyi, your contention is that this statement should stand.
Yes, indeed, my Lord, and that cross-examination should occur
Cross-examination.
on the statement.
Okay, yes, Mr. Minister. You can continue.
As it please the court, madam.
Yeah. If you want to continue, you can continue.
With the cross-examination.
Yes. The state
How is
says
it?
the statement should stand.
Yes,
Despite
ma'am.
the
Yes.
mistakes which the state contends that you can elicit, and the response should be also noted.
But Mr. My colleague, my right, is not an authority. He can't give an order and say that it's only his view. I think it should come from the court that no, in the circumstances of what has been presented before court, then the court rules that cross-examination should then be proceeded with on the basis of this statement.
Yes. Yes. You can proceed.
As it please the court, madam.
And then the court will have to decide, as you say.
Excuse me, madam.
And the court will have to decide.
Yes.
Thereafter, because the state has got the right to withdraw the statement if they want to, but the state is not in the mood to do that. They say they stand by the statement with the explanations. Okay, so proceed.
As it please the court, my lord. My attention has been drawn to the fact that apparently the court wants to see me.
Who's that?
That Mr. Mube wants to bring something to my attention.
Mr. Mube?
Yes,
Oh,
I
oh,
request
yeah,
an
fine,
indulgence, man. Thank
Yeah,
you.
fine.
I'm afraid, my lord, this argument has got some rippling effects because it has just been brought to my attention by accused, by Mr. Mdntv, that as he was sitting there and listening to what this witness was saying, is that this witness said that he wrote a statement and then it was commissioned. He never mentioned notes. And then after he wrote that statement, then it was taken for typing. And he's even requesting that if that is still in contention, then we can go to the record just to find out whether what he's telling this court through me is what this witness said.
Now, may I listen? He wrote the notes, not under oath.
Under oath.
He wrote the notes. He was giving them to Ginanda. He wrote the notes, yeah. Sorry, did you write the notes with your own handwriting?
My judgment.
Yeah.
Notes, let's say I make general lecture.
Yeah.
Then I will write whatever that on that day.
With your own handwriting.
Sometimes with my handwriting, maybe I record in my mind, then when I get home, I just keep on recording.
With your own handwriting.
Yes.
uthi ke awekwenza asithi ke mhlambe ngalelo langa uhlangana noGeneral Shabane uzothi ke kule nkulumo yakhe ke noGeneral Shabane ayibhalele nje okunye nje akubambe lakena ke emqondweni uma sefika ke endlini ke aphinde futhi abhaleke noma akurekhode lo kodwa wayebhala yena ke esebenzisa esakhe isandla.
Okay, that's the evidence I heard.
Yes, I also had the note explanation, my lord, when I actually requested that we should be given the original version of the statement. That's
Okay, you know what?
Yes, my lord.
Are there any other statements or notes which you have?
I will check in my justice. I will provide that.
When we adjourn from here, do you go home or do you go where your safety is being secured under the protection witness?
I'm going
scheme?
to a safe place.
Hello?
I'm going to a safe place.
Yeah.
Protection.
Are these documents at that
home.
safe place?
No, some of them are there, but
And
some
others?
of them are there, not there. Are at home.
Where is home? Natal, KZN.
Some are at KZN, some are here in Gauteng.
Uthi ke kwindawo ezahlukene ke la agcinwa khona ekhaya hambe KZN nalana ke eGauteng.
At KZN, who is there? Your
My justice.
father? Your father? Is your father there or your mother? Your sister? At KZN.
There's people abasebenza ekhaya because I moved my family due to their safety.
Kunabantu ke there are people who are working there ifamily yami bayihambisa ngenxa yokuvikeleka kwabo.
Unless kuzoya mina.
So the
Unless
house,
I go, man.
the house, or unless you go,
Yes, I'll get some.
when you will return, Mawahamba. Will you be
I
back?
don't know the financial complication.
The what?
Malindon.
He said
Unless
not
the
the
state
financial
provides.
complication, unless the state provides.
So you don't mind being driven down?
Awunandaba ukuthi bangakuhambisa bakusi.
Yeah,
You don't mind?
I don't mind.
Will you be having security driving you down? Mr. Baloi? I fear for this gentleman's life.
Yes.
Because we've got evidence here that there was an attempt to murder him. I see people keep on saying to kill him. The difference between killing and murdering. So, does he have sufficient protection to be
Indeed.
driven down? Because there are people here in court. I don't know. They are listening. I don't know. No, but they're realistic. in this case.
Indeed. In fact, today security has even been enhanced.
The what?
The security around him has been enhanced as a result of the incident that we shot this morning.
Yeah, like you see, there were the threats.
Yes.
When I saw those things.
So he's
So there's a real possibility that the safety of this witness is being compromised. Magapumala, and it goes not to a safe house, it goes to their home. Because there are cell phones, can be phoned, that, oh, he's coming home. Are you with me?
yes, indeed.
These are practical things.
Yes, indeed.
Practical things. Serious. So where are these security guys so that we see? Are they in court? Outside?
I think they're outside.
Can you make arrangements
I'm sure arrangements can be made, my lord.
so that this witness must be given the opportunity to go home, to retrieve all those notes, and it must also go to the safe house on Monday. Is it possible on Monday we'll have those documentation?
Yes,
Yes.
I'm sure arrangements can be made.
Yeah, okay. Mr. Nisi will postpone this case. And we hope this witness will still be alive on Monday. How much is it?
I will pray.
Yeah?
I will pray.
You'll pray.
I'm not well. There are car accidents as well, my lord.
No.
I will not put my head on the block for that.
Yeah, you're right. Haven't you had a guy being murdered by a moving car? I'm sure you said. Yes, then it becomes an accident. But the latter will be dead.
I always knew those is reckless
What?
and negligent driving, my lord. It could be
What?
a bus that will be heading to Zimbabwe that years
Yeah,
of
it's
the roads and
possible,
then
you're right.
missing and then
Okay.
it's gone. As it please the court.
But you know what, in the meantime, all councils, I want you to address me on the admissibility of this statement in regards to the fact that it is being added to by the evidence, the viva voce evidence of this witness. Can you prepare an argument, all of you? I'm going to prepare one.
Let us get the directive properly, my lord. The court is asking us to
The legality, the lawfulness of the additional statements he makes in court to be taken and incorporated into his statement, and the mistakes he explains in his statement. I'm aware of the case of State versus Mafaladi, so State
Yes,
versus
yes.
Governor,
Yes.
etc., etc. But I'm just saying, I want you to address me on that exigence on Monday, if you are able to. If you are not, Tuesday or Wednesday.
as it please the court, my lord.
Mr. Malloy? Okay, it's fine. Then we adjourn. On that note,
He was not robbed when he arrived this morning.
so he's gone to chambers to go and rope.
To go and rope and get his
Okay,
material.
find us on the way. Yes, we shall tell him what the learned prosecutor says.
As a court, please, my lord, after yesterday's proceedings,
Yes.
a video clip has been brought to the state's attention, which in our submission, my lord, might amount to contempt of court in facie curiae. And, you know, we just seek guidance of the court. We're ready to play the clip here that shows one of the accused making certain gestures to the witness whilst he was testifying. And, you know, we just seek the court's guidance as whether this court prepared to watch the clip and that an inquiry be made regarding that possible charge of contempt of court in facie
Who
curiae.
brought the video into your attention?
Yes.
Somebody brought it to your attention.
Yes, the investigating team. Yes.
Oh, the investigating team.
Yes. It's a clip of this camera, my lord, that captured one of the accused making gestures to this witness while he was testifying.
Yeah.
And-
Okay, we have to view it because
Yes.
I can't determine without seeing it whether there's a contempt of court.
As the court pleases.
But you advise Mr. Mnisi what is happening.
Bafethu-ke umshushisi akwazisa inkantolo ukuthi ngaphambili kokuthi ufakazi abizwe ikhona-ke ividiyo abayibonile-ke ithimba lelo liphenye icala bamkhombise yona-ke leyo vidiyo. Ukhona omunye wabasolwa akhona akwenzayo kuyena ufakazi lo ofakazayo manje. Ithi inkantolo ngaphambi kokuthi ngathatha isinqumo ngayo leyo vidiyo leyo kufanele iqale ibone sala ukuthi yini leyo elapho kuleyo vidiyo.
Yeah, okay, let's see the video. Because remember those how the press should behave. You remember that order we
Yes,
made
yes, yes.
regarding reportage, the
Yes.
press, what shouldn't happen, what should happen, etc.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see whether it contravenes any of that order. Yeah, I can see.
Yes. Maybe it can be played again.
Yes, start it from the beginning. Which accused is that? Who's
It's accused number 5, my lord.
accused number 5?
Yes.
Okay. Is that the end of the video?
Yes, it's just those gestures that have been made, my lord.
Yeah. Accused number 5. Do you see yourself there?
Mr. Ntuli, uyabuza ujaji ukuthi uyayibona lapha le video. Yes, I do, my lord.
What were you intending to convey to the witness?
Bekuyini le bekuyisifiso sakho sokuthi uyindlulisele
Objection, my lord.
umfanekiso?
My lord, the
Mr.
accused is
Cholola.
represented.
Ms. Mshorolo? Just sit down. I have seen the video and I am asking the accused. You will make your representation thereafter. Now you want to make the representations before you have even heard me. Is that what you're saying?
As the court
Which
believes.
procedure is that? Yes, sir. What were you intending to convey or what are you conveying? If at all you're conveying anything.
Uma ukuthi khona ukushoyo okudlulisayo yini bekudlulisa noma bekuyisifiso sakho sokuthi undlulise?
Hayi ukuthi angisakhumbuki ukuthi ngikhuluma ngoba lo muntu okhuluma ngayo shera bangumbondo nje.
I can't even remember what it is that I was talking about because the person that is being referred to, my lord, is seated here as the witness is pointing and the prosecutor is obscuring the view. I can't even see that person.
My question is simple. What were you intending to convey, if at all? I'm not talking whether you see the witness or what. I'm looking at that clip and I see you're making facial gestures and expressions. Just want to understand what were you intending to convey to whoever. I never spoke about the witness.
Inkantolo ithi ayikhulumanga ngofakazi nokuthi bekubanike noma uma kuwukuthi kukhona lokho kukusho bekuyini noma lokho kuhlose ukuthi ukusho uthi akakhulumanga ngofakazi uthi ukhuluma nje ngalokho akubonayo la ku video ujaji. I can't remember what it is that we're talking about because there is a lot that we are discussing pointing to where they are seated.
Yes, Mr. Mshorolo.
Mashallah.
Any submissions regarding what is happening in the clip about your client?
Thank you, my lord. I have consulted with Mr. Ntuli regarding this clip, my lord. The problem we had firstly is that there are no utterances that we could hear from the video clip.
Have you heard of sign language? It's now official. It's an official language, sign language. Right, you heard me. So?
Yes, and then when I was asking him as to what was he doing, the Mr. Ntuli, my lord, denies that he was referring to the witness when he was speaking with the gesture depicted in the video clip. As you can see, my lord, that he was speaking next to number 4 who was next to him, not that he was speaking to the witness.
Okay, fine. Mr. Bandoi?
As a court pleases, my lord, from the clip it can be seen that there's a gesture of a pulling of a trigger, and to me, my lord, that is very serious.
He says he was just speaking.
Yes. At this stage, my lord, we just request the court to bring it to the attention of all the accused that interfering with any witnesses might amount to contempt of court in facie curiae, and that they should desist from such conduct.
Okay.
Yes. And I can refer the court to this handbook by Snyman Criminal Law, 7th edition.
Just read that for us.
At page
You must
287.
interpret for the accused.
Inkantolo isenikeza-ke ithuba ummeli wakho Mr. Ntuli uthi-ke niyena akhuluma-ke nina nobabili waphika-ke wena ukuthi nje kukhona lokhu ubukusho noma ukubhekisa-ke kuyena ufakazi ola enkantolo ubukhuluma kodwa-ke nalo osesizo kwakho ku-accused number 4. Umshushisi-ke uma senikezwe ithuba nayo uyaphendula-ke uthi kuyabonakala lapha-ke ukuthi-ke kukhona la utshengisa khona noma-ke wenza uphawu khona-ke lokudonsa noma lokuphula i-trigger uthi into ayiboniwe-ke leyo umshushisi usecela inkantolo-ke manje ukuthi ikhiphe isixwayiso kubo bonke abasolwa ukuthi ukuphazamisana nofakazi efakaza lana-ke ukuthi inkantolo ifanele inaziseke ukuthi lokho kungenzani noma kunamiphumela yini.
Yes, Mr. Baloo.
The court, please, my lord, says the handbook of Snyman Criminal Law, 7th edition, where the learned author discusses contempt of court, and he defines it as follows. Contempt of court consists in unlawfully and intentionally violating the dignity, repute, or authority of a judicial body or a judicial officer in his judicial capacity, and he then discusses the various forms of contempt of court, both outside and in court. And when he discusses contempt of court in facie curiae, that is inside court, he mentions the following examples: interfering with witnesses or presiding officer. He says X commits contempt of court if he improperly influences or attempts to influence a judge, magistrate, assessor, party to a case, complainant or accused, and in this instance, witness, interpreter, or legal representative in a case, in the decision he has to make in the case, the evidence he has to give, this is our instance, or generally the way in which he has to conduct himself during the trial. The act may take the form of intimidating the person concerned, and this we submit, my lord, is on all fours with what we, the clip that we have just shown. As indicated, my lord, at this stage we're not going to insist on a formal inquiry. We just want the court to admonish all the accused that such conduct might fall foul of the law and constitute contempt of court in facie curiae.
Fine, Mr. Rapelesi, before you, Ramasipidi, sorry, any comments as an officer of this court about the strictures of the law which Mr. Balui has read for us? Any comment?
As the court pleases, my lord, I was also made aware before we came to chambers, my lord, and upon our return, I did also speak to accused number 1 and 2 about the required conduct in court, my lord, as the court pleases.
Mr. Mnisi?
As it is the court, my lord, it is indeed so that trial should take place in an open and fair environment that is free from intimidation. However, in the context of that, it does sometimes happen that flares temper, what do they call it now? Flares temper or tempers flares. I think we should just request the accused people to refrain from doing that, because that affects the quality in which the witnesses will be giving their testimony. And vice versa, witnesses should also, if there are any witnesses, they should also be cautioned not to do or say something that would affect the emotions of the accused. Thank you very much. And I'm very grateful to the state, the manner in which it approached this matter. Thank you.
Mr. Lumano?
My lord, it was also brought to me this morning. I have also raised it with my client that they should, respect the decorum of the court. That is far I can take it. Thank you.
Ms. Msholo, you want to add?
Thank you, my lord. Just very few submissions, my lord. I also appreciate, my Lord, what has been brought to the attention of this court, especially a reference to this name and criminal law, what is contained there regarding the behavior in which we should behave, including our clients, as well as the witnesses in this court. However, my Lord, I would also like to put it on record that if the state was serious and aware of what has been brought to the attention of this court, this ought to have been brought first time when Mr. Tumelo insulted at our clients, and the state did not do anything. So I appreciate what is being done now, so that the witnesses also, they will be told that they are not allowed to insult at our clients. As much as our clients also are not supposed to behave in any manner, the witnesses too should be warned for the same. And also, my Lord, lastly, to say, regarding the actions when they are sitting in the witness at the box, maybe we need to get a clarity there whether they should not make any actions, something like that, my Lord.
If you want to question, you can go.
Thank you, my Lord.
No problem.
Thank
Let me tell you, I've got 50 years experience in criminal law. And I'm just generally telling you this. I know all the tricks. I can tell you, I saw those gestures when the witness who did a turnabout under cross-examination by Mr.
The other day.
Yes, I was watching. I just kept quiet.
Thank you, my Lord.
If you want to confirm this, you can ask the JP. I brought it to the attention of the JP. So I'm saying bad, please.
Thank you, my Lord.
I'm not.
Those were
Not this judge.
Indeed, my Lord, we are indebted to the court generally, and unfortunately, my Lord, for some of us, we don't have eyes at the back,
Yeah,
so
no,
we just focused.
No, I'm just saying I noticed it.
Okay.
I noticed it. You must know that.
Inkantolo iseyinikeza bonke ke abameli benu ithuba ke ukuthi baphefumuleke emuva kokuthi umshushisi esefundile ukuthi umthetho uthini-ke ngendlela yokuyiphatha enkantolo yabasolwa abamangalelwa abofakazi kukhulunyiwe futhi njengabo bonke abantu basebenza enkantolo ngizwile kukhulunywa futhi nangaye uToleka, so indlela nje yomuntu wonke ukuthi ayiphathe enkantolo. Bathi-ke banemeke ngalokho ukuthi kulethiwe, kodwa-ke wabesengeza basho-ke abameli benu ukuthi bakhulumile nani ukuthi-ke kufanele kwenziweni-ke enkantolo. Wasengeza-ke u-advocate Mshololo ukuthi-ke nabofakazi bayacela-ke nabo ukuthi-ke babe nendlela-ke yokukhulumisana nabamangalelwa enkantolo uma bekukuthi banikeze ngobufakazi babo. Okunye kongezile futhi ujaji-ke ukuthi nangaleli yalanga-ke kwakunomunye umfakazi owayekhona lana uma ngaphosisi-ke ngicabanga ukuthi khulunywa ngayo uButhelezi ukuthi wabona-ke nangalelo langa futhi ukuthi kukhona kwenziwe, kodwa wathatha nje isinqumo sokuthi uzothula ngeke uthi uyafuna nje nikwazi lokho ukuthi wabona nangalelo langa kufakazi uButhelezi ukuthi kukhona okwakwenziwe ngathi uButhelezi eseshintsha-ke kwinkulumo yakhe.
Okay, thanks. I'll just leave it at that. Yes, Mr. Benoit.
As a court, please, my lord, we can also confirm that what the court has remarked now regarding the other witness, Mr. Buthelezi, that was also brought to our attention.
No, I saw it.
Hence, we felt that that the accused should be admonished about such conduct.
I saw it. I just kept quiet. That's why I mentioned it. Okay, Mr. Benoit, let's start. As requested by the state, my lord, we just request that the accused be admonished and be made aware that such conduct will in future perhaps might attract sanctions.
The contempt of court process.
Yeah, only accused are warned to desist. Disturbing the decorum of this court whilst witnesses are giving evidence. No gestures should be directed at the witnesses.
Bayaxwayisa bonke abasola ukuthi ngathi-ke ufakazi noma ofakazi benikeza ngobufakazi kungabikho-ke abakwenzayo ukuphazamisana nofakazi nkathi ethula ubufakazi bakhe enkantolo.
I read the case for all the accused counsels. R versus Hepworth of 1928, which says a criminal case is not a joke. Not a joke. Serious matter.
Kunecala ke la ngo-1928 ka-Hepworth ebengilifundele bonke abameli benuke ukuthi ke enkantolo akusiyona ke indawo la kwenziwa khona ke amakhaya.
Okay.
Serious court.
So you are warned accordingly.
Nexwayiswa ke.
Yes, Mr. Maloney.
As a court, please, my lord, the witness can come in.
Yeah, you're still on the oath, sir?
Usengaphansi kwaso isifungo busithathe izolo baba.
Yebo.
Understood, my lord. Singahlala.
Yes, Mr. Maloney.
As a court, please, yesterday when we adjourned, you were still telling the court about the photos of the accused that you've received. You can continue from there.
Izolo ke uma sesiqedela ke sekuphele isikhathi ke ubusakhuluma ngazo ke ithombe zabasola owayithola noma owayitholile usungaqhubeka ke ukusuka khona lapho.
You will still explain as to how you received those photos.
Ubusachaza ke ukuthi ithombe lezo wayithola kanjani.
Ithombe engangiyitholile ngayithola kwifoni kaGwabini.
The
sengiyisendela kweyami ifoni.
Okay. The photos that I received them from Gwabini's phone. I then sent them to my phone.
And when was that?
Kwakunini lokho?
Noma ngakhumbula i-date kodwa kwakuyisikhathi esidibene eThembisa.
Although I can't remember the date, but it was at the time when we had met in Tembisa.
Which year, more or less?
Kuphi unyaka?
2019.
2019.
Did you take any action as a result of those photos? Did you do anything with them?
Kukhona owakwenza ngazo lezo zithombe lezo?
Yebo.
Yes.
Yes. And which accused are you referring to here?
Ibaphi abasola khuluma ngabo la?
Accused number 1 and number 2.
Accused number 1 and number 2. Sola uqala kanye nowesibili.
Yes, and what did you do with those photos?
Waye wenzani ke ngalezo zithombe lezo?
Ngayikhipha ifonini yami general life ukuyibona.
I then downloaded them and took them from my phone because the general wanted to see them.
Which general?
Muphi general?
General Leshabane.
Leshabane.
Yes.
Yebo. Singaqhubeka.
Yes. Yes. What did you do with those photos?
Waye wenzani ngalezo zithombe?
You say you downloaded them. What did you do?
Then ngayibonisa yena.
And then showed him the pictures.
Who?
Ubani?
General
Leshabane.
Okay. And can you just explain what was the purpose of showing him the pictures?
Awusho nje kwakuyini ke inhloso yokumtshengisa ithombe lezo?
ayifuna ukubona abasolwa ezithombeni ukuthi ngaba abasolwa ekhuluma ngabo.
He wanted to see the suspects in pictures as to which suspect was I talking about.
And just lastly, Mr. Zungu, you mentioned that you did partake in some alcohol on the particular evening. What was the state of your sobriety?
Ushilo ke ukuthi nani noma wawuphuza ngaleli langa leliyana ke ngathi isimo sakho ke nanje ngoba wawuphuzile ke wawukusiphi isimo?
Ngiphuzile kodwa ngangaphuzanga dawa.
I think that I had consumed some alcohol, but not to, but I wasn't drunk.
Thank you, my lord. That is all.
Is that it? Yes, Mr. Ramos Sekedi.
Mr. Court, this is my lord. I thought Mr. Mabu was going to be.
You thought what?
He was going to be a bit long, so I didn't set up my conditions. Now, sir, you testified that at some stage when you were at Phosphorus Hostel, you were asked to move your car out of the way because you had parked somebody in. You did that, and in the process, you removed a bag. You removed a bag from your car, put your service pistol in it and the car keys, and then you went inside Gwabeni's place, correct?
Ubufakazi bakho ushilo-ke ukuthi la owawuphake khona awuphake ukuthi ukhona-ke lo owawumvalele wasuhamba-ke lapho kuyosusa imoto leyo wakhipha khona-ke ibhegi isikhwama sakho isibhamu sakho sasemsebenzini wase ubuyela ngaphakathi kwaGwabeni. Yes.
And further that, you then gave Gwabeni the bag containing the firearm, the service pistol, and the car keys for him to store it for you, correct?
Wase uma songena ngaphakathi-ke wanikeza yena-ke uGwabeni isikhwama leso-ke esasinesibhamu sakho kanye nekhiya zemoto ukuthi ayibambe.
Isibhamu sami sikimi, ibhegi yayikuye, amnikeza lethi isibhamu.
The firearm was with me. He had the bag, and then I later on gave him the firearm.
Okay. So, just for clarity's sake, that firearm, when you give it to him, did he place it in that bag that you also gave him, or he stored it separately away from the bag?
Uma usumnikeza isibhamu leso-ke ingaba wasithatha isibhamu wasifaka kusona isikhwama lesi ubumnikeze sona kuqala noma wabeka isibhamu kwenye ihlangothi wasebeka isibhamu kwenye ihlangothi?
Ngabeka isikhwama kuqala, isibhamu sabakini isikhathi eside sahleli.
Okay. I first placed the bag there, and then for the longer time the firearm was in my possession. Yebo.
Okay. But eventually you gave him the firearm to stay for you.
When we started drinking, I then left the firearm with him.
But what I want to get to is that firearm, was it placed in the very same bag that you gave him that had your car keys?
Manje engifuna ukwazi kuwena ukuthi angithi manje isikhwama bese sikuyena vele uma usumnikeza isibhamu ke manje ngabe usithathile isibhamu wasifaka kulesi isikhwama bese sikuyena vele noma wasibeka nje
angiboni ukuthi mhlawumbe wasifaka ku bag noma kuthiwa wasifaka ngabe wasifaka kodwa ngamnikeza isibhamu esayidini.
I don't think that he placed the firearm in the bag. If it is so, then he must have done that on his own. But I gave the firearm to him aside.
Now, just give me the setting of, because I want to understand the context of that area where you were at, Gwabeni's room, the common use area that is inclusive of the kitchen. Can you describe that for me so that I've got an idea of what was happening? Because you said there was partying, there was drinking, there was ingoma, a dance and meat and all of that.
Kona konke lokushilo ukuthi gidwa ke kwakudliwa inyama kwakuphuzwa konke lokho sengifuna nje ukwazi ke uma ungachaza le ndawo le inanihlezi kuyona ke ukuthi ile ndawo le inanihlezi kuyona usihlanganisa ukuthi uyindawo kanjani.
Njoba ngishilo ukuthi ihostel leyindawo enespace esivulekile for abantu bonke ikamero eli lomuntu likaGwabi njengalo liqonda le nayo le indawo hall.
As I've said, that the hostel is an open space and a bigger space for everyone, and then Gwabeni's bedroom is facing the halls. In other words, when you're at the hall, you're facing Gwabeni's bedroom.
And from there, because you had a firearm that was stored that you had to keep an eye on because there was lots of movement, and that's a state pistol. How far were you seated from Gwabeni's room in relation to that common area, the kitchen, so that we can observe perhaps somebody going into Gwabeni's room.
Nanjengoba ke kwakuyisibhamu somsebenzi lesi isibhamu sombuso kwaye futhi ke ufuneke ke kwakufanele ukuthi usiqaphile la ohlezi khona ke wawukude kangakanani ke nekamera leliyana likwaGwabeni la ukuthi noma ungakwazi ukuthi ubone
njengoba ngangihleli la mangifika sifika ngasaphuza ngabeshiya isibhamu fike sahlala saxoxa bephuza ngaleso sikhathi abanye bebephuza.
Okay, where I was seated, it was not a matter of as we arrived or as I arrived, we started drinking. We sat down, we had some conversation, others were drinking. Yebo?
Emva kwalokho ngathi mangiphuma ngoba lokho ngibuze ngibeka isibhamu sami ngangibalekela ukuthi mangiphuma naso ngoba sasikile kwangenzeka umuntu afika asidonse aphume naso.
Now
ngakho ngabona ngoba sesiphuzile manje yochama kungenzeka kube khona osidonsayo.
Now when I went out, the reason why I decided to leave the firearm on my way out, I was thinking that maybe, because now we had already started drinking, when I went out to relieve myself or to urinate, someone might pull it. Hence, I decided to leave it.
And when you hand the firearm, stress that, I'll come to that. Tell me about illumination in that area, the kitchen area plus Gwabeni's room at the time.
La enanihlezi khona kanye nekamera lelana kwaGwabeni ke awusho ukuthi ukhanya kwakukanjani ukhanya.
Njengoba ngangihleli ngibheka umnyango kaGwabeni sho ngangibona yonke into eyenzakalayo wonke umuntu ongena ekamereni kaGwabeni uphuma khona uwenza lokho wonke kwakwenzeka ekamereni kaGwabeni ngangubona ingakho ngangihleli la.
Hence, I was seated where I was seated. I was in a position to see everything that was happening in Gwabeni's bedroom. Anyone was going out, I was going into the bedroom, coming out of it. I was in a position to see everything happening in that bedroom.
Yes, but I'm talking about illumination, where the lights in the area, in that common use area.
La enanihlezi khona sengikhuluma manje ke ngama lights ukuthi kwakhanya yini kwakunama lights ayekhona yini. Obviously, there were lights.
And when you hand the firearm to Gwabeni, was it in its holster or did you give him the bare firearm?
Ngathi umnikeza uGwabeni umnikeza isibhamu leso sikwi-holster noma wamnikeza nje sona sisodwa?
Ngamnikeza sona sisodwa.
The bare firearm.
Did Gwabeni have a safe to store a firearm for you?
Ingaba wayenesafe yini uGwabeni yokuthi angagcinela isibhamu?
Isiqinisekiso salokho anginaso kodwa ngamnikeza ukuthi akwazi ukuyikhipha endlini yakhe ngoba kwakhiyekile futhi kwakungena nongangena ngenye access ngaphandle kokuthi angene la angene phambili.
Uthe awuyazi wena no yeke ukuthi awazi ukuthi wayenesafe. Yes, about the safe I have no knowledge about the safe, but what I know is that the bedroom was locked. There was no other access, so anyone who wanted to enter that bedroom, I had to go through that door.
And did he show you exactly where he stored the firearm for you?
Ingabe wakhombisa yini la isibhamu asithathe wasibeka khona?
Akamtshengisanga kodwa ngangazi ukuthi sisendlini ngoba kwanganawo drop.
He didn't show me, but I knew that it was in the house because there was no wardrobe.
Now, as a police officer, you were trained in firearms, safekeeping, storage, and the like, correct?
Nanjengephoyisa ngithi wakuthola uqeqeshwa ngokuphatha isibhamu ngokukhipha ukugcina isibhamu sisafe nokustora.
Yebo.
Yes.
And you also knew that it's a criminal offense for somebody to store a firearm for you when it's not stored in a safe, strong room or other device details of the Firearms Control Act when the firearm is not in your possession.
As a court, please, my lord, we object to that kind of, or at least the witness should be warned that there's no obligation on him to answer any question that might incriminate him.
Yes, Mr. Ramasipi, you say the witness is immune from self-incrimination. because he's got rights in terms of Section 35,
35, yes, correct.
F of the Constitution.
Yes.
So you're obliged to warn him first.
Yes, he did so
So
much.
that he can exercise his rights to silence if he wants to. Or he can answer you after you comment it, no problem.
Okay, sir. Now, let me draw that question and ask it again. I'm going to ask you a question that may perhaps land you into a problem with the law.
Angithi qala angiqale lana ke ngithi ngizobuza umbuzo osengakufaka noma ongenzeka ukuthi ungakufaka enkingeni emthethweni.
And in terms of Section 35(3)(d), I mean 35 generally, not specific sections, you've got the right to remain silent, you've got the right to have a lawyer of your own choice, legal.
The Act doesn't say that.
Yeah.
He's not arrested.
Oh, let me leave that. Okay, all right, let me leave that. You've got the right not to answer a question that incriminates you. If you don't want to comment, you cannot comment. If you can, you may.
Lo mbuzo ke kuwena ke ukuthi uphenduleke uma ubona ukuthi cha awufuna ukuthi noma akusiyona ke inhloso yakho ukuthi uphendule ungasho ke kanjalo.
I was giving him the warrant officers. Sorry about that. So, just this question. It's not a lot of questions that deals with incrimination. Just this one. And the question is this.
Sorry, what is his answer about the warning?
Kulesixwayiso osinikezwayo uthini?
Ngiyasizwa.
I hear it, my lord.
So can I pose the question to you, then you decide whether you want to answer it or you remain silent?
Ngizodecide abayisobuza.
I'll decide once you have asked the question.
No, could you decide before you answer the question?
Okay, umehluleka ucela ukuthi udecide manje ke ngaphambi kokuthi ubuze umbuzo.
If umbuzo ubhekisa kimi ngicela ungawuphendula.
If it's a question directed at me, I'm asking not to answer it.
I respect that. Now, did Gwabini possess a license in order for him to store that firearm for you?
Ingabe uGwabeni wayenelayisenisi yini emnikeza ke imvume noma igunya lokuthi loso sibambe leso akubambele noma agcinele sona?
Angazi. Angicabanga ukuthi nayo.
I don't know. I don't think he has it.
Now, you testified that at some stage you left that area to go to Top's bottle store to buy alcohol when you went to the
Naya at Tops nyothenga khona ke utshwala. Ingabe uma usuhamba ke noma senihamba niya at Tops wahamba yini wayosikhipa isibhamu ngoba angithi vele kufanele sibe kuwena?
Ukuphendula lapho ngesikhathi ngihamba nge-Tops isibhamu sasisekiwe.
When I went to Tops, the firearm was still with me.
And now let's move on because of the Section 35 notices, questions. I'll move on away from them. Now your testimony is that at Gwabini's place, and to use your exact word, it was busy, it was fun, it was revelry, it was music, it was dance, it was food, and the like, and with lots of comings and goings, correct?
Ushilo ukuthi kuningi nje okwakwenzeka lapha kwaGwabini, kuningi nje kwakumnandi, kwakugidwa, kwakuyingoma nje, kwakudliwa inyama. Ushilo uthi kwakubhizi nje bephuma abanye bengena abanye. Yebo? Yes.
According to your estimation, and I'm not telling you to a number, how many people were there at that place, in that revelry party, whatever?
Uma usungaqagela nje ungathi babe bangaki abantu ababe lapha yana kuleya ndawo ngaleliya langa?
Ngikhona ukuqagela ngoba ngithi abantu babengena babephuma kodwa kwangabantu abaningi sazazana nabo abantu bangasekhaya abantu.
I wouldn't be able to guess or to estimate. As I said that people were coming in and going out and it was a lot of people. And people that we knew that were coming from back home, where we are coming from.
And your testimony then becomes that around 9 p.m. you then observed or noticed accused number 1, 2, and 3. Is that 3 coming back and from somewhere and going into Gwabeni's room, correct?
Kushilo-ke ukuthi ngakuma-9 yila ubone khona-ke umsolo wokuqala, owesibili, owesithathu bebuya-ke la ababebuya khona base beyongena ekamereni lakhe uGwabini.
Yebo.
Yes.
And you say that your suspicion was aroused. What caused you to be suspicious of people coming back and all of that?
Kushilo-ke ukuthi yila ose waba ney'nsolo khona-ke yini-ke eyakubangela ukuthi ube ney'nsolo abantu bebuya la ababebuya khona.
Njengoba ngishilo ngangihleli ngoba ngangazi ukuthi erumini kaGwabini kunesibhamu sami. Ingakho ngangihleli la ngibheke wonke umuntu ondlulayo eyakhona nophumayo nongenayo.
As I said that where I was seated, I was facing Gwabini's room and I was looking at each and every person that was going in and out of that bedroom. Yebo.
Ingakho ngakwazi ukubabona mabengena beya kulo leli camera. Ingakho futhi ngasukuma ngabalandela ngoba ngangathi ngesibhamu sami.
Hence then I was able to see them as they were going to that bedroom, and I then stood up and followed them, knowing very well that in that bedroom my firearm was there.
So in essence, are you telling me that the aim was to go and secure your firearm, correct?
Wena okwakusukumisa kwakuwukuthi nje uyoqinisekisa ukuthi isibhamu sakho sisecure.
Yebo ngoba bangena belandelana beya kuleli camera ingakho nami ngasukuma ngaya khona.
Yes, because as they entered, they were following each other and they went to that bedroom. Hence, I stood up and also went there.
And further, according to your testimony, is that you observed accused number 1 in possession of a .38 revolver. I'm not familiar with guns. Is it a .38 revolver?
Yes. Tuyasho ukuthi wangibona-ke number 1 then-ke ephethe i.38 revolver.
And another person in possession of a 9mm. Who was that?
Ubani lo owayephethe i-9mm?
Accused number 3
umsolo wesithathu.
Can you describe the 9mm that you observed?
Ungayichaza le 9mm owayibona?
Njoba ngichazile ukuthi mhlambe isibhamu nolwazi lwaso ngiyangikwazi ukuchaza ukuthi lesi isiphi ngesikhathi esiside njoba ngisho ukuthi 9mm i9mm ne38 ihlukile ayifani.
Okay, as I said previously that I've got knowledge of firearms, but now because of the fact that it's been a long time since the incident occurred, but I could say that this was a 9mm, this was a .38 revolver, and because the two firearms are not the same or they don't look the same. Yeah.
Ingakho ngithi wayiphethe 9mm omunye phethe 38.
Hence I'm saying that he was in possession of a 9mm and the other one was in possession of a .38.
But you can't tell us the make and model or the make of that 9mm.
Yeah, make and again 9mm ngewichaza.
Ngeke ngikwazi ukuyichaza because ngangayithathanga ngayibheka kodwa engayithatha nje kuye ngiyibuka ngabona ukuthi 9 le angifuna ngikwazi ukuthi yenziwe yini neRico or yipi company kodwa ngabuka nje ukuthi isibhamu mm then ngi38.
I just looked at the firearm and I was able to see that it was a 9mm, but as to whether it was a Norinco or what, I didn't inquire about that. I could see that this was a 9mm and this was a .38.
And could you describe the .38 revolver that you saw?
Ungayichaza yona i.38 le owayibona.
Umehluko ku-38 ne9mm ukuthi 38 nesondo.
The difference between the 9mm and the .38 is that the .38 has got a wheel
and 38 ayingenanhlamvu.
And the .38 had no bullet. Inhlamvu noma inhlamvu.
Oh, inhlamvu.
Okay, it had no bullets.
Okay.
So in other words, the 9mm was loaded.
Yeah, loaded on the
9mm. I was interested with 38.
Oh, okay.
Right. I didn't open the 9mm. I was interested in the .38.
Okay. And your further testimony then is that you observe the same persons accused number 1 and 3 handing the said firearms to Gwabini, correct?
Uthi wase ubabona ke yena number 1 kanye no number 3 benikeza ngazo le ibhamu lezi benikeza uGwabini.
Yebo?
Yes.
And why, in your opinion, were they handing those firearms to Gwabini?
Ngovolo wakho kwakungani benikeza ngalezo ibhambe inikeza yena uGwabini?
Ingakho ngithi nami ingakho ngabuza ukuthi why bephethe izibhamu.
Hence I said that is the reason why I inquired. Why are they in possession of firearms?
And did you get the joy of a response from either of the gentlemen?
Ngabe waphendulwa yini ke kulo mbuzo wakho?
Ngokusho kwabo angibani safuna ukuthi abangiphendule ngabe sengibathethisa nje.
As they said it, or as they mentioned it, I didn't even want to know further. I just scolded them.
Let's move on and deal with this aspect of the beginning of your evidence in chief yesterday. You testified that you know, is it all or some of the accused persons in court?
Umuqala unikeza ngokufakazike izolo ingabe uthe ubazi bonke abamangaleli noma basola laba noma wazi abathize kubona.
Ngicabanga ukuthi ngalelo langa wonke umuntu ekhona noma athiwa ngangamazi noma ngangamkhumbuli kodwa bangikhumbuza bona.
I think that what I said is that on that day, even if I knew the person or I was in a position not to be able to remember the person, but they themselves reminded me.
Especially amagama abo.
Especially their names.
Just for contextual purpose, where are you, if it's a security concern, don't answer it. Where are you from KwaZulu-Natal?
Uma kuwukuthi ke kunezathu zokuvikeleka usho ke ungawuphenduluke kodwa bengifisa nje ukwazi ukuthi eKZN ubuya kuphi nendawo.
Ngizocela ngakuphendule.
Okay. The question not to answer that.
And then let me do it this way. I don't want to risk your security at all.
Angisho nje kanjena akusiyona nje inhloso yami ukuthi ke ngabeka nje engiphendule impilo yakho noma security yakho.
That area where you grew up from in KwaZulu-Natal, where you say you grew up, and I'll talk about accused number 1 and 2 only. Did you grow up in that area or as a young man until you came to work as a police officer in Johannesburg, or you moved early on from that area to come and stay in Johannesburg?
Lapho ke ngizothi kwena la owakhulela khona ke ngiphinde futhi ukuthi akusona inhloso yami ukuthi ngibeke impilo yakho engiphenyi malana la usuka khona. Ukhulela khona ke isikakhulukazi ngikhulumela ke umsolo wokuqala kanye nowesibili ukuthi ke ukhule lapho kwaze kwafika kwisigaba ke la ekufanele manje usuzosebenza khona ke eGoli noma wahamba ke ngaphambili kokuthi usebenze wa ingxenye impilo yakho wazoyihlala la eGoli ngaphambi kokuthi usebenze.
Bengahlali nabo.
I wasn't staying with them.
Bengiya khona ngoba kusekhaya ngasekhaya.
I would go there because it's my home.
And for example, when did you leave home? To come and work or study this side, whatever. What I want to find out is the gap that you last saw the persons that you say they were your neighbors. I may have forgotten their names. I was reintroduced to in Florence.
Ngifuna nje ukwazi noma ukubheka isikhathi ukuthi kwaba isikhathi esingakani noma igebe elingakanani ke ukuthi uhambe nini noma ukuthi weza ngala uzofunda noma uzosebenza. Ngifuna ukubheka isikhathi ukuthi labantu laba uthi wabakhunjuzwa uma sewuhlangana nabo ke eForslorus ukuthi kwakuyigebe elingakanani usungababoni la ukuthi kwakuwomakhelwane ekhaya.
Ngicabanga ukuthi akusona isikhathi eside ngoba angithi mawuhambile ngiya ekhaya ngiyavakasha ngama-holiday ngama-festive ngiyababona mangababonanga ngibabonanga kodwa akusikho ukuthi maybe ngiyile ngohlala nabo no.
It was not for a long time because I would go home to go and visit during the festive season, and if I see them, I would see them, and if it is that I wouldn't see them then. But it's not to say that I would stay with them for a longer time.
I will, during the break, take instructions from both accused number 1 and 2 because they were waiting for you to finalize your evidence in chief so that they can give me instructions about this particular aspect. But let me put the other aspects that they've given me in respect to your testimony about their identification.
Lokho ke ngizothi mase siyakuthi break ke ngizozwa kubona ke ngoba belinde ukuthi nje uphothula ubufakazi bakho bazokwazi ke bangitsheleke noma ukuthi bathini ke bona. kodwa ke angikutshela ukuthi bathini ke mayelana nokunye.
Hayi. Akangitshela.
Yes,
Okay, you can tell
yes.
me.
I can tell you what they have told me in prior instructions. So remember, we got your statement 2 days ago or 3 days ago. So we are waiting for you to finalize your evidence in chief so that we can take further instructions. Now, accused one denies that he is your neighbor from home. I don't know where your home is for security reasons, but he says he's from Mahlabatini.
Umsola noma mangalelo boqala ke uyaphika ukuthi umakhelwane wapheke umakhelwane wakho ekhaya noma emakhaya uthi ke kumele akazi ukuthi wena ubuya kuphi kodwa yena ke uthi ubuya emahlabathini umangalelo boqala.
Uyakuphika unamanga.
Is he denying it? He's telling lies.
Ungasizwa nje basekhaya mangisekhaya.
He's just further down. When I'm at home, he's just further down my home.
Ubaba wakhe unomali.
Normally. His father is normally.
He will also testify that he's not acquainted to you and he has never socialized with you.
Uthi ke futhi akajwayelananga nawe akakazi nje ahlale nawe ke kube mnandi kungebeleke nje ndawonye.
Vele kungaze ngihlale nabo. Anyway, eGoli.
Yes, I've never been with them or socialized with them in Gauteng.
My Lord, if I may take instructions, otherwise we are going to have to seek for an adjournment so that we take proper instructions because it will be an up and down with raised hands and it won't be pretty.
What time is it?
It's just a minute after 11.
Okay, we'll come back at 11:30.
That's the purpose.
It's ambiguous. Not that he doesn't know you.
Sorry, my Lord.
You say you saw him for the first time in 2019.
Let me put it this way, my Lord. At first, my submission was that he accused one said he doesn't know you in total at all. Now he says, I do know you, or I saw you for the first time in 2019 in the company of somebody that I know who is Gwabini.
Fine.
Usho kanjalo. Uthi ngaphambilini ebethe akakwazi kodwa ke manje ke noma bekusho ummeli kodwa ke ummeli uthi cha ke emuva kokuthi ekhulumisene naye ke umsola oqala uthi umsola oqala cha akusuka ukuthi akakwazi umeqala ukubona ngo2019 uhamba noGwabini.
Do you want to comment on that?
Khona ofuna ukusho lokho?
Ngizokubhekisa kuye accused number 1. Ngiyabonga ukuthi asho njalo bengisengithukile nami.
I'm gonna say this direct to accused number 1. I'm grateful that he says that. I was also now, I have been shocked.
Now, accused number 2, because I'll chop and change with respect to accused number 1 and 2, but accused number 2 himself says he doesn't know you in total. He just seen you here yesterday in court.
Umsolo wesibili ke na uthi akakwazi nje akakwazi kwanhlobo nje qala ukubona izolo la enkantolo.
Yazi ubabe kusho mhlambe accused number 3, accused number 4, number 5 bengavumelana nawe.
If that was said or was coming from accused number 3, 4 and 5, I would have agreed with you.
Ngokozalo mhlambe la engizalwa khona ngicabanga ukuthi ungakantanzi ugogo wami ungakantanzi.
Okay. From where I was born, or back home where I was born, he is from Tanzi. Sorry, he is from the Tanzi family. And my grandmother is from the Tanzi family.
Oh, I see.
So by birth, he is from the Tanzi family.
Have you met accused number 2 and where did you meet him?
Ukuhlangana kwakho nomsola wesibili nommangalelo wesibili wahlangana kuphi naye?
Mangithi sesikhulile mhlambe sesikwazi ukubona ngakukhumbuza eFalse Loras.
When now we are talking about at the stage where we're grown up, we are able to see now. I would then say in False Loras.
And in False Loras, you refer to the 26th of October 2014.
Umuntu eFalse Loras ukhuluma ngazo i-26 ka-October 2014.
Yebo.
Yes.
Enye futhi ngeke ngambona ngaphambilini ekhaya. Kuyangimangaza mawethu akakwazi kodwa cha asingayikuko.
But previously, I've seen him back home. So it comes as a surprise to me when he says he doesn't know me, but let's not go there.
And both accused number 1 and 2 will deny that they were at Gwabini's place on the 26th of October 2014.
Bobabili ke bazophika bazophikisa ke ukuthi babe kwaGwabini nge-26 ka October ngo-2014 bayaphika lokho.
Kuphuka phetshani lot.
That is just a lie.
Accused number 1 will state that in 2013 until March 2013, he was staying at Phosphorus Hostel at Basotweni section, but when he lost employment in March 2013, he returned home and stayed home until he returned again to stay with his uncle in Tembisa in 2015.
Uyangitshela noma uyangibuza nto?
Is that the question or is that the statement?
I want you to comment on that.
Ngafisa ukuthi uphawule kulokho.
Ngeke ngazi ukuthi besebenza kuphi ulahleke nini umsebenzi asikaze sikuxoxa lokho.
I wouldn't know where he was working when he lost his employment. We have never discussed that.
The basis of that proposition to you is essentially this, that since March 2013, he's never returned to Johannesburg or Gauteng until 2015.
Just a moment. Uthi ke noma akushoyo kona konke lokho ukuthi kusukela ngoMarch ka2013 akakaze abuyele eGoli kwaze kwashaya u2015.
Ngambona kodwa eFolslorus.
I saw him in Phosphorus.
Ngaba naye futhi ngaphuza naye beer. Yimi ngamdropa futhi.
I was with him, drank beer with him, and I'm the one who dropped him.
Accused number 2 will state that at the time of the shooting incident of the deceased Senzo Meiwa, he was employed at Sibanye Stillwater in Carltonville, and for that weekend he had obtained unpaid leave from the 27th of October 2014 to the 31st of October 2014.
27 October 2014 till
The 31st of October 2014.
Uthi ke ngaleso sikhathi leso sokushona kwakhe noma ke sokushona kwakhe ke umufi uSenzo Meyiwa ngaleso sikhathi wayesebenza eSibanye Stillwater eCarltonville futhi ke wathola ke unpaid ke eyaqala nge-27 ka November October 2014 kwaze kwayoshaya i-31 ka October 2014.
And so comment if you want to comment.
Makuthi ke khona ungakusho kulokho ungaphawula.
Akukho engingakusho ngazi ngomsebenzi wakhe eCarltonville. Kodwa engikwazi ukuthi ngambona nge-26.
There's nothing I can say. I know nothing about his employment in Carltonville.
Sorry about
There's
that.
nothing that I can say. I know nothing about his employment, but what I do know is that I saw him on the 26th of October 2014.
And that when he knocked off from his morning shift on the 25th of October, he then embarked on his trip to go to Nongoma. Let me see, it's a difficult name. Kotlokolo, Nongoma, where he comes from.
Yeah.
So he was not in Gauteng that weekend of the 25, 26, 27 when this incident occurred.
Nokuthi ke wathi uma ephuma ke emsebenzini nge-25 zika October 2014 wabe ke esethatha uhambo oluya ke eKhotlokolo kwaNongoma. Akushoyo ke ukuthi nge-25, i-26, 27 kusho ukuthi ngalesa sikhathi ke isigameko bese senzeka ke wayengekho la eGoli yena.
Nama.
He's telling lies.
And I just want to go to these further instructions. And accused number 1 will deny that he at any stage. Wait. Sorry, my lord, let me take 1 second. Let me get it now. I mean, that's it, my lord, sorry. accused number 1 will state that he has never attended your sister's wedding and that allegation is false.
Uthi ke uMangalelwa wokuqala nomsolo wokuqala akakaze nje aye la kwagwana khona ke usisi wakho ukuthi futhi leyo insolo lezo ziyamanga.
And accused number 1 states that he only, like I said, he met you in Tembisa with Gwabeni. And you stated that you know accused number 1 because his father is normally, correct?
Uthi yena ke wahlangana nawe uhamba noGwabeni angithi ushilo futhi umfakazi wathi ubaba wakhe unormally.
Ngicabanga ukuthi le withdrawile lo mbuzo ukuthi asazana. So
I thought you had withdrawn the question that we don't know each other.
It's fair. Now let's move on to this aspect now, because I was moving from instruction to instruction. Now, with respect to accused number 1, he also says that version that he gave Gwabeni, a .38 special revolver firearm, is false.
Aphinde athi ke accused number 1 lokho okhulumile ukuthi wase enikeza uGwabeni isibhamu esiyi.38 revolver kuwamanga lokho.
ngicabanga mhlambe indlela yokuyivikela kodwa ke iqiniso yalazi.
I think that's just a way of defending himself, but he knows the truth.
Further, accused number 2 also states that it's a falsehood that you saw him at Gwabeni changing from a black hoodie to a grey hoodie.
Accused number 2 uthi ke nalokho ke kungamanga ukuthi wambona khona lapha kwaGwabeni echange ihoodie emnyama wase efaka egrey.
Ngambona.
I saw him.
Uyakwazi mayilokho.
And he knows that as well.
Accused number 1 and 2 deny any involvement in the killing of the deceased, Senzo Meyiwa.
Accused number 1 no number 2 bayaphika nje ukuthi bona ke baba neqhaza ke ekubulaweni kwakhe umufi uSenzo Meyiwa.
Njengoba ngingasho ngathi angishongo ukuthi ngababona bembulala.
As I've already said that I never saw them killing him, so yebo ngikho.
Ingakho ngangathanda ukuthi mhlambe ngibakhulumele amanga ngokuthi ngababona bembulala.
That is why I didn't want to tell lies or accusing them that I saw them killing him.
Now, if you want to comment, you'll comment. I want to give you the general evidence that's been led in this court, because you say you saw 1 and 3 with firearms, respectively .38 and 9mm.
Ngizokunikeza ke ufakazi noma ingxenye yobufakazi yothuliwe ke phambi kwale nkantolo ngoba ushilo ubufakazi bakho ukuthi wabona u1 no3 bephethe i.38 kanye ne9mm.
Now, evidence led here is that 2 suspects entered the Khumalo household.
Ubufakazi ke obuphambi kwale nkantolo ukuthi ke kunabalisa ababili abangena emzini wakwaKhumalo.
Further, that the first suspect was shorter,
nokuthi ke owoqala umsolo wayemfushane,
dark-skinned,
edarki ke ngebala,
big eyes,
enamehlo amakhulu,
and dreadlocks whose length extended. They kept on saying this, I'm going to do that, extended to this level.
Nama dreadlocks ke ababethi mabewachaza kubathi phela kule level nanje ngoba betshengisa ke ummeli indlela abachaba wachaze ngayo ama dreadlocks aloyo.
And that particular suspect was in possession of a firearm.
Nokuthi loyo msolo loyo ke wayephethe isibhamu.
Now, with respect to evidence led in this court, the second suspect was described as taller than the first one.
Ngobufakazi ke obusobethuliwe ke kule nkantolo ukuthi owesibili ke umsolo wayemude kulokuqala.
And his complexion was described as not too dark, not too light.
Bashilo kuma bemchaza ukuthi wayengekho dark, wayengekho light futhi.
He was wearing a hoodie,
wayegqoke ihoodie,
and he was armed with a sharp object resembling a knife.
Nokuthi ke wayephethe ke isikhali ke esasifana ke nommese sasishaphe sasifana nommese ngoba kungathi ummese.
And furthermore, that the second suspect had a beard that was trimmed, and the reference was set an O-shaped. That means perhaps this, I don't know what O-shaped they said.
Bashilo ukuthi ke wayinale mustache ke indlela eyitrinywe ngayo ke bebonisa ke u-O-shape.
And that he had, the people who leave this part of a beard here on the lower lip.
Nokuthi ke wayeshiye nje la ngoba kunabantu ke uma besebeshave ke bashiya le ndawo la nokuthi wayeshiye le ndawo la
On the cleft.
On the cleft of a lip. So, do you want to comment about that with respect to your seeing two people in possession of a firearm? Do you want to comment in that context, or is something that you can comment on?
Kukhona yini office ukuthi ke uphawule khona?
Ngangiphawule ngakho ngangekho kakhumalo.
I wouldn't comment about it. I wasn't at the Khumalo homestead.
You also testified that you partook in alcohol that night.
Yebo.
Yes.
And that you were drinking Jameson whiskey and tonic that's with ice.
Totally. Yes.
How many glasses of whiskey and tonic did you have that night?
Tots or glasses?
Sorry?
I say tots or glasses. People who drink whiskey, they talk about tots. Glasses, cold drink. No, look.
I've seen the tumbler being filled.
Glasses fine, but I'm just saying.
I've seen people dash it with Coke, fill it up.
They drink a glass of whiskey.
I don't
No,
drink.
fine.
I wouldn't know.
Double tots. Fine.
So were you what quantity were you drinking of whiskey and tonic at the time, that night?
Wawuphuza kangakanani noma wawuphuza kangakanani yebo ngalela langa ke noma wawuphuza ngani?
Sasingenayo mhlawumbe into esimeja ngayo. Sasiphuza nje sithela. Sasingenayo measurement. So ngeke ngikwazi ukuthi kuwe sasithela mhlawumbe 100 ml or 20. So
I wouldn't be able to tell you because we were not using anything to measure. We would just pour and drink, but we were not using anything to measure, whether it's 100 milliliter or 20.
But you were drinking from a glass.
But
correct?
naphuza ngeglass.
yes, sasiphuza ngejazz.
Yes, we were.
And then later on, alcohol ran out and a necessity arose to go and buy again, correct?
Base kuphela ke utshwala kwanesidingo ke sokuthi nihambe futhi niyothenga obunye.
Ngicabanga ukuthi mabeyothenga bangabi ukuyothenga la mina kodwa akuyothenga utshwala ngoba abaningi babefuna mhlawumbe utshwala omunye mayengenabo nomunye uzoyithengela angicabanga ukuthi ngabe ngizobheka ukuthi wena wayeyothenga 10 wayeyothenga ama black wayeyothenga ama Heineken lokho
I don't
ngekwazi
think that the buying was specifically for me because there were many people there, so I would not be in a position to look, why are you buying 10, why are you buying black? It was because there were many people there.
Oh, let me clarify, perhaps. Specifically for you, the whiskey Jameson bottle that was brought by Makosonke, is that right?
yebo
Yes.
It hadn't run out. You had it from the time you arrived at Fosloras until you left. You didn't need to buy further or more alcohol.
Sukela ngesikhathi ke wafika ngaso sokwazi kwayisikhathi wahamba ngaso ingabe waphuza nje yona kwangekho zange kube khona isidingo sokuthi uhambe futhi uyothenga enye.
kulokho okushoyo ukuthi mhlawumbe emayiphelile ngahamba nobani uyothenga ini angeke ngithi mhlawumbe ayothengela mina mhlawumbe umunye engahamba uyithengela okwakho kuphuzwa kuyi ngeke ngikwazi ukuthi mhlawumbe yathi mayiphela ngasiphi isikhathi sathengani saphuzana.
I wouldn't be able to be in a position to say that when it ended or when it ran out we then went to buy, and it was not to say that if I had left with someone that person would have gone to buy it for me.
Now, just to complete that point and move on to another aspect, how sober were you when you observed the alleged incidents of 26 October 2014?
Wawusoba kangakanani ke uma ubona ke isehlakalo noma ke isigameko sange 26 October 2014?
Ngicabanga ukuthi ngoba ngababona ubekwazi ukubuya ngabuye ngahamba nabo ngadriver ngabashiya bengalimalanga ngicabanga ukuthi ngangisakhona.
Seeing that I saw them when they came back. I left, I drove with them, I dropped them, so I think that I was still able.
Now, in your evidence in chief, amongst the police officers that you interacted with regarding this matter, you talked about Warrant Officer Makubo, correct?
Ushilo ke izolo ufakazi lakhe ukuthi kumaphoyisa ke owakhulumisana nawo mayelana nodaba lolu ushilo igama lakhe Warrant Officer Makubo.
Yebo.
Yes.
And if I understood your evidence correctly, is that having done your own investigations, you then came to the conclusions that the accused persons that are before court are somehow involved in this case, correct?
Ushilo ke nokuthi uthe uma usuzenzele olwakho uphenyo wakusuthola ke ukuthi abasolwa ke laba abaphambi kwalenkantolo ukuthi ke ngandlela ethize ke ukuthi baya mbandakanyeka ke kulesehlakalo lesalecala lelo phambi kwenkantolo.
Ngifisa ukwazi ukuthi might investigation ingizenzele yona noma yenziwe yi-state.
Just wish to understand when you say my investigation that I did or that was done by the state.
That's what I wanted to understand from you, because in your evidence in chief towards the end yesterday, you were asked two aspects by my learned friend, Mr. Malone. And I want you to clarify for me, because remember, we are writing as you are speaking, so sometimes we miss things. So I don't want to put wrong things to you. So that's why I say clarify for me.
Ebengifuna ukuzwa kuwena ke ngoba ke izolo la egcineni ke kwizinto okuyibuzwa uyena ke umshushisi ngesinye isikhathi siyabhala ke ngesikhathi wena usakhuluma ezinye izinto ke singayitholi kahle ke ingakho bengithi ngicela wena ke ungichazele.
Ngochazela ukuthi uMakhubo ngazenzela mina investigation or yenziwa Warrant Officer Makubo.
That I did the investigation or it was done by Makubo.
Let me put this to you, these two questions that I say, perhaps I heard from my learned colleague, Mr. Baloyi, then you gave answers to so that we can be on the same page. I think Mr. Baloyi asked this, and you tell me if I'm wrong. He asked you whether you met Colonel Gininda in Aviator Kempton Park, correct?
That's correct.
Yebo kuyiqiniso ukuthi ngibuzileke ukuthi ngahlangana no Colonel Gininda e-Aviator e-Kempton Park.
In fact, now, respect to him, he's a brigadier, but I've always known him as a colonel. And then he asked you, Colonel Gininda, in the presence of General Tony, what do you know about this matter? And if I'm wrong, you correct me. Your response to that was that there's nothing that you can say about the matter. Am I right?
Wasekubuza ke uKenel ngiyamazi ukuthi ubrigadier kodwa ke sonke isikhathi ngimazi uKenel. Wasekubuza ke na uKenel Gininda ukuthi ekubuza ekhona uKenel Tony ukuthi wazini ngalo udaba wabusuthi wena ke awazi lutho.
Ngicabanga ukuthi uthatha amanothi ngendlela e-wrong.
I think you took your notes in the wrong way.
Ngithe uKenel Gininda kuze kwazi uzongibuza ingoba wayesereferwe uGeneral yini.
I said that the reason what led Colonel Gininda to come and ask me questions is because he was referred to by the general. Yebo.
uKolonel Gininda ngamtshela lokho ayakafika ngibuza khona okumayelana nabasolo.
I then told Colonel Gininda that which he asked me regarding the suspects.
Okay. So that's your explanation. Let's leave that. Let's leave it there. Now let's come to this interaction with Makubu, warrant officer, in the presence of General Leshabane. You remember that interaction?
Uyakhumbula ke ukukhulumisana noMakhubo ekhona uGeneral Leshabane?
Yebo.
Yes.
And prior to that, you said also present was General Shadrach Sibia, but I'm not sure whether when Makubo was there, Sibia was also present. Clarify that for me.
Ukhulumile ke nangaye uGeneral Sibia, angazi noma ngathi ukhuluma ngoGeneral Sibia nokuthi uMakhubo naye wayekhona yini lapho?
Yebo wayekhona.
Yes, Makhubo was there.
Okay. Now you are asked by Leshabane to say, repeat the info that you have given to me to Warrant Officer Makubo so that he can hear it firsthand, correct?
So uthi ke wase uGeneral Leshabane ethi kuwena ke ngicela uphinde lokhu ongitshele kona ke ekhona uWarrant Officer Makubo ukuze ayizwele.
wakusho General Leshabane.
Is that what General
Whoever
Shabane said?
who informed you to repeat what you had told Sibia and Leshabane to repeat it to Makubo?
Kwakubani owayicela noma ekutshela ukuthi uphinde lokho owakusho kuSibiya kanye noLeshabane nkathi sekukhona uMakhubo?
General Leshabane
It is General
explainela warrant officer Makubo.
General Leshabane explained to Warrant Officer Makubo.
Okay. And after that explanation was proffered to Makubo, what did he say about that information that you had just given them?
Wase ethinike uMakhubo emuva kokuthi ese explainelweke uyena uGeneral Leshabane.
Mangikhumbule kahle angazi noma justice seyizolo singakhulumi ngehearsay evidence suka kubantu eyami noMakhubo. Kodwa
Yesterday it was said by the court that we shouldn't refer to hearsay that was coming from myself and Makubo, but
No, just wait what the law says. If counsel asks you a question which borders on hearsay, or for you to answer it requires hearsay, you are entitled to answer it.
uma
You
kuwukuthi
are aware of that.
uma kuwukuthi
And that
ubizwa
hearsay is admissible.
uma ubuzwa ukhanselike ngokomthetho ke uvumelekileke ukuthi uphenduleke lokho.
okay. Umbuzo obuthi ngale
Wase
umbuzo.
ethini uma angithi kuseke uLeshabane wami explainela emuva kokuthi uLeshabane sem explaineke kunempendulo eyabuya kuMakhubo yathini leyo mpendulo emuva kokuthola explanation kuLeshabane.
warrant officer Makubo wakuchitha lo information wathi akusiyona.
He disputed that and said that information is not correct.
Now let's go back to the information that you gave that Makubo dismissed out of hand. What information pertaining to this case did you give?
Yiphi ke leyo information ayicitha wathi akusiyona?
Eyokuthi abasolwa umsolwa number 5 okunkani wayengekho lapho wayekade eboshwe uye.
That accused number 5 was not there. He had been arrested by Makubo
Yeah.
by him.
And what about the other remaining suspects that are here? What did he say about them?
Wathini ngabanye laba abakhona?
Ngicabanga ukuthi wayikhuluma mhlambe ngesuspect ayiyazi ukuthi iboshwe uye kwi previous case. Hayi abanye engabazi ngicabanga ukuthi wayikhuluma ngokuthi yena uyamazi unkani waboshwa uye.
I think he was referring to the suspect that was arrested by him, not the other suspects, because he knows Nkani, that Nkani was arrested by him.
Thank you.
In a previous case,
Yes, it is.
yeah, I that. Because the impression
In the
now is
previous
that Makubo arrested him for this very case.
Oh, in the previous case.
Yes, very important.
And what was the reason for Makubo to dismiss that information outright? What did he say to you was his reason to dismiss that information?
Kwakuyini isizathu esanikezwa uyena uMakhubo sokuthi achithe lokho?
Ngicabanga ukuthi mhlambe i-evidence ayinayo kulokho naye kholelwa yikho wayekholelwa ukuthi u-accused number 5 uboshwe uye shuthi uye waziyo ngo-accused number 5.
I think the information that he had, or that he was referring to, that accused number 5 had been arrested by him. He knows about accused number 5.
I didn't intend to do this, but I'm going to now have to refer you to your statements that you made on the 31st of May 2023, a few weeks ago. I've got a handwritten one, but it's written by, I know this handwriting proper.
What's the statement number?
It's A245. It's a typed out statement. Do you have that document in front of you? My Lord,
Yebo.
my Lord, the document in front of me has got 1, 2, 3, 6, 9 pages, and the 10th page is the commissioning page, and it's comprised of typewritten content, 21 paragraphs, my Lord. I just want to refer him to this particular aspect only. So, my family so in mind, my Lord. I'm not sure whether it's prudent that I put all 21 paragraphs if I need to refer
Yeah, you have to.
all 21.
Yeah, state versus Masaladi, so.
Yes.
Right, you have to, because the court has got to understand the context.
Yes.
How if you choose one paragraph?
I will do so, my Lord. The statement reads, I, the undersigned, sorry. I nearly failed to qualify the statement. Now, the document in front of you, if you look at the last page of the document, because the ones that we have, we don't have the initials at the back, because there's a powered by a CAD scanner that's obliterated your initials and everything. So the document that you have in front of you, do you recognize it?
Le document le unayo phambi kwakho yes?
Yebo.
Yes.
Where was this document made?
Yenzelwa kuphi?
Number 9 Beatrix Avenue, Russell Centurion.
Number 9 Beatrix Avenue, Russell Centurion.
And who was the taker of that statement?
Sasithathwa ubani?
Ngicabanga ukuthi uBrigadier Gininda.
I think Brigadier Gininda.
And when you sat with Brigadier Gininda to take that statement, was he in the company of somebody else, or was it just the two of you?
Nkathi ke Brigadier Gininda esithatha konake le statement kwakuyena kuphela noma unomuntu ayehamba naye ngalelo langa lelo?
Ngicabanga ukuthi wayenomunye asebenzisana naye.
I think he was, sorry.
Sergeant Mohale.
I think he was with a colleague, Sergeant Mohale.
And when the statement was made, you were interviewed for the purposes of making this statement. What language was used?
Uluphi ulimi enani khulumisana ngalo?
isiZulu.
IsiZulu.
And obviously, for obvious reasons, I take that he also spoke Zulu, so you understood each other.
Ukusho ukuthi nanizwana naye kuliZulu nizwana.
Yebo.
Yes.
And after making this statement and the contents of that be reduced to writing, was it read back to you?
Emuva kokuthi ke istatement lesi ke sesenzile ngomagama esebhale phansi ke ngabe wathi uma seqedile ke wakufundela lokhu akubhaliwe.
Ukucacisa kulokho istatement ngazenzela mina kodwa ngangisenze ngesandla sasingatypiwe.
To explain to that, I reduced the statement to writing myself with my own handwriting, but it wasn't typed.
Okay. And your handwritten statement, once you were satisfied with the contents thereof, you then initialed all the pages and signed the signing page and had it commissioned by Commissioner of Oaths, correct?
Umusuqedile ke wa initial noma wa sign ke emuva kokuthi ke emuva kwalokho sasesikommissioner ke.
Yebo.
Yes.
And you are satisfied that the document in front of you confirm that it's your statement?
Nelisekile ke ukuthi lesi siphambi kwakho isona istatement sakho.
Yebo.
Yes.
Thank you, my Lord. I mean, that as the court places. The statement reads, I, the undersigned, Sizwe Skumbuzo Zungu, with ID, I'll leave it out, 37 years old, state under oath that I reside at, I'll leave the address for security reasons and your cell numbers, and you are employed as a constable at the South African Police Service in Sabenza Police Station. Paragraph 2. On Sunday, 2014, 10/26 at 7:30, I received a call from my nephew, Gwabeni, whose real name is Sfiso Zungu. He told me to come visit him at Fosweras Basotho Hostel where he was residing. He also told me that our homeboys will be coming to visit as well, the likes of Muzikau Kulelwa Sibia, who is related to Gwabeni, and Nkani Fiso Zungu Ntuli Mafika, whose real name is Bongani Gwabini. Sorry, Bongani Ntanzi, who is my cousin, and he's also related to Gwabini, Mthokozisi Mapisa, and Nkani, whose real name is Fiso Kuhle Zungu Ntuli, and others who are from Opisiwene, Nongoma, KwaZulu-Natal. He said they will be excited to see me. I told him that I'll be starting at my workplace in Tembisa Police Station. Thereafter, I will come through. Paragraph 3, I received a call from him again at about 10 a.m. He asked me to pick up my nephew, Makosonge, in Johannesburg. He also sent me Makosonge's cell numbers, which I'm not going to read on record. At about 1 p.m., I left the police station and went to pick up Makosonge in Johannesburg. I was communicating with him telephonically using my above cell number until I picked him up at Carlton Center. Then we proceeded to Fosleras. Upon our arrival, we found Gwabini and other boys from Nongoma, whom I know because we all grew up from the same area. However, some of them I have not seen for decades. Gwabini did the introduction as we were all grown up, and we could not recognize each other. He introduced Carlos, who is known to me as Gada, whose real name is Mtobisi Ngube, and also referred to him as a Buthelezi boy. Nkani Sfisokuhle Zungu Ntuli Mafika Bongani Ntanzi Mthokoziseni Mapisa. I did not need an introduction on Muzikaulela Sibia. Carlos, also known as Gada, whose real name is Mtobisi Ngube, and we refer to him at times as Buthelezi boy, and Sinako Sibia, because I'm used to them and we see each other more often. We all ate and drank alcohol. I was specifically drinking Jameson whiskey. Others were also sharing the same bottle with me, and others were drinking other kinds of alcohol drinks. We were dancing and singing. I was mixing the whiskey with Indian tonic water as well as ice. It's supposed to be cubes, it's cubes, without counting the ice blocks. I did not order any other alcohol or consume any other different one. I also recall that Muzi's father was around as well, and his names are normally Sibia. Paragraph 4, at about 3 p.m., Sinako Sibia approached me and told me that Nkani Sifiso Kutlentuli Zunguntuli is stating that I removed my vehicle because he wanted to go out as I had parked behind his vehicle and blocked his exit. I was driving a state unmarked vehicle